bad news any day. Walter Lee peers down his waspy nose, tips his glass and salutes with the dregs of a vodka and coke. His contact sat opposite for 15 minutes now, patient, forgettable, half man, half mantis, a smile, a song and a taste for eroto-cannibalistic predation. Walter Lee tears the sheet from the roller, peels back the carbon layer and crowns a stack of glossy paper. Surprised by this prompt execution of the deadline, the contact confirms his own appearance on page 1, paragraph 4 with a wry grin. You forgot to mention my gills, he says, sniffing at the concluding words before locking the manuscript in a faux white tiger skin valise. In payment from behind his thumb like a card trick, he produces a liquid paper dropper that glows through his bones. Just in case something needs rubbed out, he says. I use Eaton's Bond, contemplates the call and response, corrects right onto the paper. The stranger bends low across the table to conclude the business, eyeballs shifting like pendulums. He hisses, it only works once, I hear. Beware the side effects of ultimate correcting fluid, Mr. Lee, and may God have mercy on your soul. God wouldn't touch my soul with rubber gloves, says Walter Lee. When writing can't pay the bills, a boy has to go where the work is. Contract killings in the afterlife, bartol wet jobs, etheric assassinations done dirt cheap. It's only words after all. In the parking lot behind the diner, Walter Lee accepts his mission, loads the spike from the liquid paper dropper and thumbs the plunger to the root. Intravenous organic super solvent sure can teach a man a thing or two about storytelling his ass into and out of trouble. Big smile, the fear recedes like the hat beneath his head. Walter Lee, snug as a Ken doll behind the wheel of the salmon pink and black trim 1959 Chrysler Imperial hardtop. The passenger seat is reserved for his faithful typewriter. It's familiar, snug in its case like a friendly modernist snail in a shell. The mission is deceptively simple. Walter Lee has exactly 20 minutes to kill the winner of the battle between good and evil. Welcome to fabulous Las fucking Vegas. Would want to wind up. And there, ahead, at the end of the highway into town is the stop sign for human consciousness, evolution's terminus. Sulking in the afternoon's oily light, a jet black pyramid seems to float as if in a trough of shallow piss spilled across the horizon. Make some space in your head for a 400-foot tall space jellyfish! An incontinent elder god wandering in his pyjamas half a mile from the trauma ward. Its name is 5-cell, 4-simplex. In the eternal morning before the fall, it was pentachoron, hyperpyramid, 1 of 11 rebel platonic supersolids who got just a little bit too big for their vertices. The Cyclops stare, the Sauron eye of fire, extinguished at the fall, shell-shocked, hallucinating polyhedral casualty of some old war in heaven or other. Crash to earth through the rotten math that holds up the sky, through the worm-eaten joists and mouldy rafters of cosmology, all the way from the icy mesopods of higher mathematical topography to Nevada, desert, dirt, and scorpion shit! Its golden sections chained, its occult ratios enslaved to the black magician's will, mind controlled by Muzak, neon flesh and punks. Swallowing light, the blowhole of the pyramid makes a waste beam of 40 2.3 billion raw candle power, a lux ejector brighter than a supernova of sunflowers. It spreads and extended wire and cable 10 miles underground in every direction to sense its prey. If it had lips, it would lick them. Nothing's ever easy. A Cadillac Eldorado races by, an ink splatter of exhaust fumes, a Stedman scribble of bug-eye bubble bad craziness, an exhaust emitter and adrenochrome, concentric circles, Batman over Basto, time like the highway runs one way into the pyramid's impacted tarry vortex. A Jules Verne maelstrom, grinding centuries not water in its restless mouths. Walter Lee lifts his hands from the wheel and the car keeps rolling like a ball with an incline that just gets steeper by the minute. He's sweating cold liquid smack and he hopes that junkies can't smell him from here. Losing his nerve like coal plasma draining through the soles of his feet, Walter Lee turns to flee, but the wide world stretches to resist escape. The distant blue horizon is 3 feet from his nose now. The city warps into wide angle on the inner skin of a soap bubble. The trap is tripped. The pyramid opens 4 miles of white-hot, delirious strip-lit road. All its sides are closing into place around him, all at the same time. He's Jonah and the whale, and his only hope now is to become a poison, to kill this thing by osmosis, crawl live and naked from its ass if need be. Triumphant, waving the flag, dancing the fucking can-can, job done. Until then, bravado counts for fuck all. First blood goes to the Black Magician. Vladziu, the Black Magician of Vegas, keeps an inside-out room at the apex of the pyramid. In the neutron-dense brain of the Pentacoron, the tides and currents of its indoor lagoons are simulated by vampiric plumbing. The clouds are dry ice, the moon an arc light, the sky a counterfeit Sistine firmament where screaming archangels are, and jolly old God himself is blinded, castrated, wiped across the event horizon of a hungry black hole like a bug splatter swiped across a windscreen. Everything is kitsch baroque, nothing is real, and it's too late now to change your minds. He's in there already, sprouting roots across the blood-brain barrier, rocking himself awake in a cradle of bone. Behold the fuck out of Vladziu, lowering from a white-hot chandelier, upside down like a vampire in furs, a jeweled spider rotating anti-clockwise on his crackling, sticky threads, a rainbow tear of purest poison. Rotating anti-clockwise, he descends upon a wire of toxic gold to join us, rouged, embalmed, undead, the funeral mask brought to life by Max Factor and formaldehyde. That's you, master of the Bama Mark, the Widdershins way, the sinister style, the stuttering pad. Vladziu puts on his peacock coat of creepy crawling headlines, newsreel negatives and the march of time, trailing a kaleidoscopic fur-trimmed train spangled with assassinations, armistices, weddings, moon landings and state funerals. He glides to the extremity of his will, his death engine. Lord of 88 keys, crowned, mummified, hatched from a cocoon of rhinestone and peacock feathers, the piano mancer trails a personal cloud of radar, baffling tinsel chaff. In his garden of hot bright buns and showgirls and trapezing boys, everywhere he looks, he sees himself in a gleaming, forgiving mirror. In every sound he hears, spectacular applause. In the weird quarter light, the grand piano's a paraplegic crab, encrusted with a scabby psoriasis of diamonds. Things that are part machine, part animal, attach the ever-grinning gilded magician to his instrument in a way that's hard to stop. Half sex act, half invasive surgery involving cables, catheters, intravenous tubes, needles, steaming tanks of liquid nitrogen and KY jelly, until man and piano are fused as one. His still beating organs are removed in expensive reproduction canopic jars and sealed in a replica of King Tut's tomb. While in the boudoir, eager knives and flails get busy in the flesh of his apprentice, carving a gaudy likeness of Lazio on the young man's face. Diamond fingertips tip up the lid to reveal the weapon's blood-stained gnashing teeth, all black, even the white ones. And with showbiz in his blood like a predatory germ, Lazio begins to play, accelerating to a mantic, intricate embroidery on tiger rag. Whereupon his 10 fingers branch like a dozen candelabra to become 10,000 tendrils, elaborating the melody beyond all human tolerance. Chain-smoking violet and yellow cigarettes, he summons a flashy trash apocalypse.
Yeah! Woo!
Let's take it from the top. The entertainer says, and tips his handbrake back. Let's hear it one more time. Vodka and Coke, says Walter Lee, swilling the aftermath of a drink in his glass. No one knows how long he's been jailed in the guts of the pyramid. It could be 3 days and 3 nights, or their equivalent in millennia. It's casino time. It's now o'clock. The slots clatter and chime, sounding a permanent fanfare of imaginary dollars. The metallic splash of King Midas pissing through his fingers. As he tugs again on the silver arm, as the cogwheels of fortune bite and trigger a triple avalanche of fruit gum flavours, bars and blazing bells, Walter Lee is forced to concede that something, somehow, has gone seriously wrong with his big, fat, so-called mission. If the ultimate correcting fluid can't do its work, he's here for life at least. The stench of Noah's Ark and Pharaoh's tomb. It's hard to breathe in this old starry barnyard. Half circus tent, half celestial pavilion, where Vlazio's occult fuckery has imprisoned a pantheon of animal-headed Egyptian emanations, each divine hybrid shackled to its personal one-armed bandit. Hawk-headed Horus, Thoth, Ammon the ram, Sekhmet the lion maimed with solar flares, Bast, Kefri the scarab, the gods bent with white-hot currency brighter than stars. Cosmic gambles pay off in big bang jackpots. Coinage fills the hopper as a runaway stellar genesis. And it all starts over again. And the slots stretch off in rows in all directions. And all-part moire like military headstones flashing on and off and on and off. You figured out the game yet? The speaker is 8 feet tall with an ibis head and the voice of Big Bird. You figured out the con? I think I know why they call these fuckers bandits, says Walter Lee. The odds of a jackpot are 1 in 3.5 billion, Thoth says. The wheels of his machine spinning tarot cards, the Crowley deck with Frida Harris watercolours, accelerating into a thrilling relay race between courts and major arcana. The hanged man takes the lead. Sounds good to me, says Walter Lee. The simpler the game, the better the odds, Thought says. But remember, over time, the house always wins. Any more good advice, says Walter Lee? Abcadeki Jenkomonibus 2 works is. If I ever find out just what this word means, I'd be the smartest bird this world has ever seen. Thornton Parks. Vodka and Coke, says Walter Lee. Let's take it from the top. Out in the distance, the sky flashes stomach acid green. The entertainers toast the tests from the Atom Lounge, barely suspecting the ever-present possibility of mutation in the melodic line. Irreparable damage to the root harmonics. Even tone-deaf Walter Lee can recognise something sick coiled in the DNA of the song. Let's hear it one more time. I want to clean up this town and make it the home of sophisticated entertainment, Howard Hughes explains, waving aside a fog of blue cigarette smoke and reefer smoke that rolls itself into a wave of tiny galloping stallions. I've come to enlist your help against the black magician who created this semi-imaginary spawn of Sodom and Gomorrah called Vegas. Dean the Dago Martin sniggers and winks at Sammy Smokey Davis Jr., who can only wink. They're too busy betting on fragile bird skeleton nags spun from monoxide, methane and nicotine to care what Howard has to say. Sammy improvises like an angel and gently with a scat-de-dop-de-doo he whispers his disintegrating smoke horse into the final furlong. Doesn't matter whose money it is, these guys are swingers. What goes around comes around on the wheel of fortune. They share the tab, they share the girls, they share the bill. They don't use money, it's all for free. It's a kind of American communism. It's how the world would be if a bunch of singing astronauts from the future went back in time to terraform the 1950s. I mean, you boys singing and joshing together like you do, breaking down barriers of race and colour. I see no reason why we can't combine our strength, wealth and charisma as a team of fantastic adventurers. I mean, like the gods of Olympus or the Knights of the Round Table, but happening now in today's go-getting America. I suggest we expose ourselves to the bomb test radiation as a prelude to gaining incredible powers. And so on, and so forth, but no one's listening. Howard Hughes is on his own against the powers of evil and the Lord of Illusion. The bomb test shows no signs of stopping. Frank the Pope Sinatra convenes between Mia Farrow's legs with Anton LaVey, heralding the prophesied birth of the anti-Elvis and the assassination of John Lennon. Revenge for all those Beatles records Frank hated. What goes around comes around. Let's take it from the top. Vodka and Coke, says Walter Lee, and tries again for the jackpot. The pyramid belches toxic waste light. Let's hear it one more time.
Yeah!
Signs the register with John T. Conover, his favourite alias, buys the hotel and puts his affairs in the hands of Ramrod Spine, sky-eyed descendants of Mormon militiamen. What did the Book of Moses say about the old dragon after all? By the power of mine only begotten, I caused that he should be cast down! Victory's a done deal, a scriptural guarantee. The bout's been fixed for evil to take a dive in the second round of Revelations. All he has to do is bring the house down. John T. The syllables divide and split his tongue. Howard Hughes once had a dream of a perfected Vegas. Its trashy brothel mules and scanty negligees put away in boxes, its wild gangster habitats bulldozed and developed, the crime clubs skimmed and skin erased, scoured and scrubbed from history's often corrected and revised manuscripts. I like to think of Las Vegas in terms of a well-dressed man in a dinner jacket and a beautifully jewelled and furred female getting out of an expensive car. It's hard. But it's hard to overlook the crew that never rests, even here in Arcadia. A sweated film of microecologies slipped on the handle of a Lincoln aeromobile by a well-dressed naked palm. In the undergrowth of the starlet's eyelashes, hunting packs of wild pseudonomas feast on black matter mascara clots, spurred on by microscopic demon riders. And Howard Hughes slides the chain, and Howard Hughes is sealed inside the room, the waiting room of the Desert Inn, the Overlook, the Bates Motel, the house on the borderland, a room with a view of the Mauve Zone. The 8th floor that looks onto itself out of every window. And Howard Hughes turns corkscrew fingers in the keyhole, locks the door by means of an elaborately nested configuration of convoluted 11-dimensional manifolds, which require him to painstakingly grow his own specialist tools using natural keratin and sheer savage willpower. And Howard Hughes showers in gallons of cleaning fluid, immersed in holy angelic detergent, then puts on his armour, the wrinkled beaver and bassinet of age, the visor of rotten teeth, rubber glove gauntlets, the breastplate and vamp race of malnutrition and kidney failure, his shield of codeine and diazepam, his Don Quixote, naked and deranged, 6'4", 93 pounds. He who had all to give has given all in selfless service. He has forfeited his youth, sacrificed his sanity, surrendered the sky, his wealth, all human contact. Now he surrenders his ability to move in 3 dimensions by clambering awkwardly into an open drawer and securing his head between a box of Kleenex man size and a copy of the Las Vegas Yellow Pages. There are 5 broken needles in his arms, rusting, infected, leaking prophecy into his bloodstream. The universe is flattened to a cardboard box in his hand. From the box he selects a tissue, and 50 years later it rains in Venezuela. He adjusts his bony knees, and a volcano erupts in Iceland, disrupting global air traffic. He contracts like a fist, and a black man is elected president. And Howard Hughes is pressed flat like a flower in a book. Form becomes outline. But inside, he is 300 feet tall, and babes in Boulder Dam, the Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail, where construction workers and hookers ejaculate moonbeams into the Colorado. We're laughing like American thunder. Howard Hughes skims a hand bigger than Staten Island ferry across the frothing surface of Lake Mead, and 300 tons of water slop over the lip of the world's 8th wonder. Armored in chrome and stained glass, a high Gothic cyborg knight, he draws his sword of living light. And turns to face Vlad, riding the Black Pyramid's side saddle to war against a sky sick with tempest and runaway tornadoes, a John Martin apocalyptic skyline where mock flames consume the streets of a backlot Manhattan. The Eiffel Tower falls in a scale model recreation of doomsday. The Bridge of Sighs crumbles, made of concrete and spit. Roman temples, mock Romanesque revivals held together into dust and debris. The music is overwhelming squall of decibels. martial, sentimental, a blitzkrieg of candles and funeral lilies. And all the ghosts of Vegas cower, sticky plastic Playboy bunnies and scarred peyote shamans, mobsters and bloodstained spats and white fedoras, Jimmy Hoffa searching for himself. Elvis replicating his meme through 10,000 willing hosts. Rafael Rivera, dehydrated, sinking to his knees in 1829 in an oasis he gratefully names the Meadows. And us. Avert your eyes as the perfect night, the last hope. Howard Hughes is ground to string and pulp and mangled metal between the Black Magician's 88 piano keys. Carbon tetrachloride sprays from the cyborg warrior's glass tubes and ceramic veins. The pilot light goes out on his buckled visor. His breastplate readout flashes error! 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 Lazio spits out the Grail Knight's sizzling chewed up carcass and it breaks in pieces across the mosaic tiles of Fremont Street. A giant cowgirl, drumming in lines of searing yellow, red and blue, kicks one leg, a hand-tool boot of glass and light and winks. Extinction. Because the fake will always outlast the real. Because sleaze is more sexy than sophistication when you're drunk. In the war between authenticity and artifice, the gilded lie will always. Howard Hughes was fucked from the start. Who's next, says Gladzio, entering the chiming, clattering vowel of his poor sick pentagoron. The pyramid cramps, expels sour frequencies, exhales a sphinx breath of riddles and wretches. I guess that would be me, says Walter Lee. He watches Gladzio in the polished chrome trim and takes his time. He feels the refrigerator breath of galloping death upon his neck. Something like a carnivorous piano attaches itself to his spine. He takes a chance and yanks the crank for one last go round before oblivion bites. The cymbals of the reels bleed together, faster. Correcting fluid runs from eyes, his ears, and nose and mouth. The walls of the world fall flat. A magician's cabinet with nothing inside. There was never anything inside. There is no pyramid. It's a cone. It's just a cone. It's only us talking. It's only us making noise. Only us agreeing that this epic conflict is real somewhere. It's only words. It's only Abkadeki Chekomanopus do works. Each letter of the alphabet, a bullet in Walter Lee's gun. And Walter Lee's never been working, and the house always wins. And the odds are 1 in 3.5 billion, but tonight, in the death grip of this grand deception, this replica New Jerusalem, this city of destruction, he feels lucky! The spinning reels ratchet to a standstill, bells ring, 3 burning tiger eyes settle in a row. Walter Lee has hit the jackpot. Back at the agency, Walter Lee's contact delivers the manuscript. It's the last page he's most interested in. Walter Lee's mission to devise an inescapable trap for the Black Magician, an ending that would demonstrate the pride that is the undoing of artifice, suggest the sorcerer's inevitable fall to forces beyond his reach, and most importantly, somehow involve correcting fluid. Gladzio shivers on an Antarctic page. Every deception has failed. Weakened in battle, his piano broken backed, crawling like a severed hand to die, he stands alone. Words take shape on a white expanse, bunching together like muscles, like the stink of a cat, until there's an animal in the room. Invisible, untamed, off the leash. Manticore, the spirit animal, his nemesis that hunts with propane on its breath. Gladzio has nothing left but his nimble fingers, his devious charm, his devastating glamour. Let them send armies! Let fire separates from the background. MorrisonCon grins, a gate of sabres. Vlad's stands corrected.